What's up guys? This week we are continuing the work on the 110 that I just picked up. This is a bone stock, new platform, so pretty excited. I love taking these things apart and kind of watching them develop as we go. We overnighted some parts from none other than China.
Overnight parts from Japan.
This is, there's some suspension in there and a wheel, and I bought some bars also, but I didn't really know what to do. I really like the kind of the stock height of the 110. So obviously when you do the, you know, the stiffer springs and the other components and the forks, with the coating and everything, it's a lot of work. So before I sent these off to get coated or whatever, I wanted to see if we could do something different with the suspension. There's another builder online that I saw that I really liked the way that his came out, reached out to him, we had a conversation, and a lot of the parts aren't in stock or not made anymore. Unfortunately, I think they might be in stock like month down the road, but I didn't want to wait. So I kind of got the right length as far as like the millimeter from the clamp to the axle go, and kind of just did some research. I don't know how these are going to hold up. I'm going to pull these out in the box and I'll show you guys in a second, but don't know how they're going to work. I don't know how durable the parts are going to be. If not, we might recreate them. Again, it's just, I like the height of them. I'm going to do a shock as well as these as far as suspension goes, and then obviously tear this thing apart today and start sending off the parts to get powder coated and graphics ordered and all that fun stuff. But without further ado, we'll get to unboxing this stuff and I'll show you guys what's inside. All right, so here's everything unboxed. These are the forks. I think they look a little long to me. I put them up to the bike and they seem to be a few inches taller than stock, which I'm not stoked on, but we'll throw them on anyways to see how they fit. Worst come to worst, I'll just get those ones coated and put the BBR springs and adapters in and stuff. Comes with a front wheel and a tire, which I'm really surprised about. I didn't think there was gonna be a tire included. Front disc, front brake setup, fork guards. This is what I was most worried about, was the clamps, but they actually seem to be pretty solid. Might change out some of the hardware and stuff, but this was actually one thing. If this kit looks good or has a cool look to it, I was actually thinking of recreating these and maybe, I don't know, making a couple batches and maybe selling them or something, but they don't look to be that bad. If you guys are interested in checking this stuff out for yourself, I'll include a link in the description. They're pretty cheap. They're only like 350 bucks or something like that. So figured I'd try them out. If I can't get them to work right, then I'll just go ahead and drop some money and order the good stuff. I'm gonna throw this thing on my Yeti because I forgot to bring a stand to Idaho, and start taking the front end off the 110 and start assembling this stuff. Hopefully it looks cool. If not, like I said, I'll get the stock stuff coated and kind of stick with that route. Alright, so the front end's all off. We'll go ahead and throw these things on. Hopefully they're not too long. I'm really hoping that that's gonna be the right length. I don't know. They look a little long, but either way, check them out. Kind of doing this to see what options are out there. I've seen some really cool ones with some upside down forks that kind of maintain the stock ride height. Hopefully these aren't too long, like I said, but if not, we'll go ahead and get these stock ones coated. All right, so off camera, I was kind of just messing around. Obviously these stock races aren't gonna work with this different shape of bearing. I can't get the stock bottom race off. I was thinking of maybe just using the stock bearings, but I don't know. It's, I gotta get these, I'd have to have these like pressed in and have the right tool to take these out. Side note, it also doesn't really look like this is the right diameter. As you can see, there's a little bit of a gap. I don't know how that's gonna fit in. I don't have the right tool to take this out, so I'm not gonna hassle with that right now. For the sake of just seeing how these are gonna look, make sure they're the right height before I go through all the work of taking out the stock bearing or stock races and pressing those ones in. I'm just gonna bolt these up to just, I don't know, just to the frame. I'm just gonna make sure that they're the right length. I will be bolting on the clamps with the wrong races, so please don't judge me for that. This is just a test fitting video. I'm not gonna ride it like this, and if you get this kit, please do not ride it like that, because steering's not gonna work properly. I don't even know if the bump stops will line up right. So anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and throw these clamps on, throw the forks on just to make sure that it's the right length. All right, so got everything kind of on. Again, this video is just to kind of piece everything together, see what we need to get before we send everything off to get coated. And first of all, make sure that we like the length of these things. They look a little long. Maybe with the shock it'll even out. I'll get it off the stand here in a second just to check it out, but clamps are pretty, I don't know, not the greatest quality. I might honestly just send these off to get recreated because I wouldn't trust these if I use this setup. The alignment is terrible right now. Hopefully it'll be better if I get the races in there, but just for the sake of testing these things out, I want to see it. They do look pretty cool. I'll give it to them. The coloring's pretty good. The coating on the forks isn't the greatest. When I was sliding them through, they were getting a little scratched up. Nothing you can really notice, but have these things pretty high up in the clamps to try and get it to the right height. Pull this thing off the stand right now, and we'll see what the height looks like. Hey, it's a chopper. Man, I don't, I really don't know what to say. This looks terrible. Really glad I didn't pull the races out or put the other bearings in, because this is just not the look we're going for at all. This just isn't gonna work. Also, when I was mounting up the clamps, this doesn't have number plate thing. I could 3D print one probably and make it work, but this product review is just absolutely terrible. I do have a plan B and plan C. That would be to use the stock forks. I want to keep it low. I don't want to raise the height on this thing too much. Maybe an inch, maybe, I don't know, hopefully not even over an inch, but really want to keep the stock height, and this just isn't the look we're going for. If you, I don't know, if you have a built engine and looking to go like race these things or whatever, maybe that's your cup of tea, but I want to, you know, take this thing to some dirt jumps and skate park and stuff like that. This just isn't the look I'm going for, but I don't know, I guess you got to figure it out somehow. And I will probably have these for sale up on my Instagram pretty soon, because I just really don't like the look of this at all. Anyways, we'll get back to taking this thing apart. I'm gonna do the same look that I did on my KTM or Gas years ago with the raw look. I wanna do a raw frame, raw swing arm, and kind of incorporate some black into the bike. I don't wanna go all black, because that's kind of what I've done a lot over the years, and not getting tired of it, but I wanna kind of, I don't know, explore some different options with colors. Get these wheels taken off so I can get those powder coated as well, laced up with some different rims. So I'll probably just ship the hubs off, but hopefully I answered some questions for you guys. It definitely answered some for me, but again, this just isn't the look we're going for, so take these off and go with a different plan. All right, so a little update. We got this thing pretty much torn all apart. Kind of organizing everything that I want to get powder coated. Just most of this stuff, I will be cutting those spokes in just a second to disassemble the wheel. As far as this goes though, I only have these like 14s left to take off to get the engine away from the frame. Obviously super simple. Anybody that's ever worked on a 110 knows it's pretty easy. Unfortunately though, my wrench has the bed and doesn't want to work anymore, so I gotta pick one of those up. I know I should be using a 3/8 drive and not a 1/4 inch, but unfortunately that's all I have. I'll have to run to the hardware store and pick one of those up, but I'm not gonna do that so that I can get this video up today. Swing arm will be stripped and coated, as well as the frame, so I gotta box all that stuff up, but I'm gonna go ahead and cut into these wheels. I'm not gonna be using the stock hoops, stock tires, or anything like that, so in this case it is easier for me to just cut the spokes. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that right now. All right guys, that's gonna do it for this week's video. Please don't mock me too much for the China forks. Figured I'd try it. Didn't work obviously. If you guys or anybody you know has any forks that they have for sale for a 110 that are semi stock height, I'd definitely be interested. Tune in for next week's video. I got some fun stuff planned. Thanks again for tuning in. If you don't already, subscribe, like the video. Thanks guys, see you later.